For the G7 summit, the West frequently hyped up and discussed how to deal with China. The purpose of US President Biden's European trip is also related to China. Just at G7 summit in Cornwall, UK on June 12, other countries obviously do not want to be kidnapped by Washington on the China issue. Although the United States, Britain and other countries have tried their best to cool whether its economic issues, relations with China and Russia, and serious disagreements between G7 leaders make the topic very sensitive, so that all networks in the room are interrupted and closed-door discussion. For G7 group, it is a product of the past. The White House seemed to be a bit overconfident that Biden persuaded other G7 leaders to accept all its policy stances. Biden tried to persuade the leaders of the Group of Seven to sign a joint statement, forcing the G7 to publicly accuse China of implementing so-called forced labor on Xinjiang-related issues, but did not achieve substantive results, make it difficult to form a consistent pace internally. In addition, the economic ties between China and the EU are very close, especially at the stage when a new coronavirus is raging. China has become the world's factory, provide large quantities of goods to Europe, provide a new foundation for European economic development. Therefore, the EU is unwilling to confront China in order to closely follow the United States, run counter to economic interests. G7 summit discussion, the United States and other countries are obviously not kind, disconnected to discuss issues. Avoid outsiders, know more details. China becomes the world's second largest economy. The EU sees the future. The US can no longer fully control its European allies. It is enough to show that the influence of the United States is gradually weakening. Biden's return of America is just wishful thinking. The reality is that European countries will not just follow the example of the United States. French President Macron also warned Washington. Europe did not follow Biden's words, i.e., back to Cold War logic. See China as the new enemy of the West. For UK, after leaving the EU, given the dependence on energy supply, will not follow the United States, save to contain China and Russia. The G7 as a group of developed countries, it should be the prerequisite to promote the recovery of the world economy, helping developing countries accelerate development, overcome the epidemic at an early date, and tackle climate change. Do some real thing instead of creating contradictions and differences in the international community. Intervene in the process of global economic recovery, ignore the base norms of international relations. Based on the interests of small circles, engage in critical pseudo-multilateralism.